chair. So many chairs. I don't know why I keep sticking on this one. I am going to do my makeup at the same time because it smells so good. Do you mind if I do my makeup at the same time? Because I have to and don't have, like, this is going to be it. My time to do it. This is not a tutorial. I am not trying to teach anybody nothing. Just put paint on my face. I wanted to, just right now, I was thinking about something really interesting about what happened. I do not want to talk bad about somebody who passed away. Okay, so Prince, the artist known as Prince. Okay, awesome. Rest in peace. So I'm not going to say anything bad about him because I think a lot of the stuff that was said about him is the same stuff that is being said about Manson and other people. And I feel like Prince was also an easy target because he was eccentric and, very artistic, and he was bisexual, and a lot of things that I think that he, a lot of eccentricities that he might share with Manson and with Johnny Depp. So he was also an easy target. And also he was with so many women. He was married like a bunch of times. And he had, I'm talking about Prince right now, not Manson. He had people coming at him from the past, like hardcore, and he passed away. And we never knew if it was real or not. I don't think the allegations against Prince were real. I think they were a bunch of made up stuff because they want money, and it was sour, bitter ex-girlfriends or ex-wives and stuff like that. Okay? And probably with really bad lawyers and advisors. So it is weird because the same things that Manson is being accused of, and it's just going to be interesting when I do this at the same time. The same things that Marilyn Manson is accused of are really similar, almost copy and paste of what Prince was accused of back in the day. And you know who is a big fan of Prince? Ashley Walters, which is one of Manson accusations. Prince was accused of the following. I know this is probably glitchy, so I will come back. I lie because Tammy, I wish you were here, Tammy. You always tell me you're gonna come, and then you don't. It's kinda late for me, so I probably do this all over again. Not on my face, but we got that covered. All right, it's not so bad. Just this freaking light sucks. Makes me look like a zombie. Okay, so yeah, I have no makeup on. Well, we're doing it right now. So I was talking about how when he was alive, okay, Prince was accused of this. The same, not the same, but like really, really interesting how it's almost the same. Accusation compared checklist of accusations to Prince and accusations on Marilyn Manson. Almost copy and paste. Prince was accused of from his ex-wife. Lock women in sex dungeon cages, whip women, sexually abuse women, physical and mental abuse women, PTSD and depression on his exes, made her dress in specific clothing, made her watch videos with other women or watch scary videos, starvations, violence. He had a diet on cocaine, recorded videos of people without them knowing. Those are the accusations on Prince. Prince, okay, rest in peace, Prince. So this totally brushed off because it never got to anything, and I'm glad because I'm glad that it didn't get to anything big. But listen up. Marilyn Manson accused of locked women in a room in cages, whipped women, sexually abused women, physically and mentally abused women, caused women distress, depression, PTSD, anxiety, made women dress a certain way, made them watch horrific films, starvation, violence, excessive use of cocaine. That's nobody forced cocaine up your nose. I mean, so that the whole thing is bugs me. Excessive use of cocaine, collected data on people and photographed them and make videos of them. So Prince and Manson did the same thing. They just got together, like, you know what, we're gonna do, like, you know, we're gonna do this. You're gonna be like, you're gonna have my legacy. You're just gonna do the same thing I did to my ex-wife. Well, the chick that accused Prince of all this, his ex-wife, was a sour Nancy, big time, and she just won damages. And this thing, his court case, it wasn't even, he never even had a court hearing date. It never got anywhere. But I found this on Instagram because the Stand By Your Manson page, you guys have to follow those people. They are amazing. A lot of the I talk about, I just get it from them and they know it. They're amazing. And they are the ones that were in contact with Lindsay Warner, Marilyn Manson's wife. And Lindsay, in private, told them that she was with him in November 2010. And that's the times that awesome Ashley Morgan says that she was with Manson. Okay, and all the torture was happening, and they were just doing what they were doing. Lindsay told people on Instagram, on private, and I'm not gonna say the name of the person, but she did. But she was with Manson November 23rd, and the whole weekend of Thanksgiving was with Manson in 2010, and it's been with him since then. But they're going off and on and on. And nobody can be blamed for that. I'm not judging being on and off with somebody. I'm not judging that. But how cool is it that she was with him and she has no getting to the hospitals after you see him keep fighting? Oh, you showed up. Are you in the hospital? Okay. Well, you can watch me from the hospital. No worry about it. You do what you gotta do. I'll be back. Well, always do eventually. I don't have I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have an agenda. I don't have a schedule. I just pop with things that they're heavy in my head somehow, or they're up in the noodle, or things that I didn't talk about last time. And usually when the weather is nice and raining and thunder like it is right now, I'm kind of like in a better, more calm place. Because usually when I talk about this stuff, if you see me, that I get like so frustrated and rage, okay? Because I know that if this was anybody else, Joe down the street, this would have just been brushed off or investigated a long time ago. But because it's this famous people, it drags and it's dragging on. Look at Johnny Depp. My God, it's like dragging out from 2016, and it's just never over. Okay, so yeah, I'm comparing Prince to Marilyn Manson. I do not want to talk about Prince in a dark, negative way because he is not alive. So, if I have something bad to say, I won't even say it. But actually, I don't, because I don't think that he did any of these things he was accused of doing. Gotta go. Okay, bye, Tammy. Bye. I'll see you later. Sure. So, isn't it really strange that Ashley Waters, Esme Bianco, and Ashley Morgan, and Evan as well, but mostly those last three that I mentioned, accused Manson about the same things that Prince was accused on back in the day by his ex-wife, which she was a pain in the butt. It's very weird. They're almost identical. The only thing is missing is the AC being too high and the place being black and cold. It's the only thing missing. Everything is completely identical. So why people didn't go on him and they're going on this guy? There was somehow he brushed it off. I don't know how he did it. He just denied it, I guess, which is amazing. Really, that last post that he did on Instagram, he was denying it, but I kept silent and he was quiet. So, which is a good thing. But I think when it happened with Prince just had a different reaction, and it was like absolutely not, and kind of fought it, which is Manson haven't really thought anything yet, but he will. And it's probably the best thing that he is doing right now is turning himself into the police, as he done in July 7th. In and out, no bail, book in and book out the same day. It's great that he did that. As prideful as he might be, or I am, when it comes to like, what do I have to go and admit to something I didn't fucking do? Because it's good politics. It's good. It's good. So the law sees you as an honest individual, which I know I think that he is. But what I'm saying is like all the people that are not like us need to see him as that, and that's the reason he turned himself in after I'm jumping all over the place. I know after the spit accusations, which to me is still an incident and not an assault, because the definition of assault is when somebody does something to you and you don't know about it, and it's unwanted. You just don't want it to happen, right? Let's say you're asleep, like some of these girls, some of these women say the Manson assault them when they were passed out or asleep. That, if they can prove that, that is assault. But this chick from New Hampshire with the video camera that he spit on, he didn't spit. He spit on her camera and then he kept walking. He did not spit on her 7 times. She had no proof of that. She only has proof of a little video that is on TMZ that he sees the camera, spits on it, keeps walking and singing, doing his thing. The guy is not staying there like going, I'm going to stop my song and I'm just going to spit on you over and over and over. So it's not technically assault. It's an incident and it sucked. And it probably was not a good time for her at the moment when that was happening. But it's not assault. And I hate that that's going to be on his record as assault. But it's very smart from his lawyer, Howard King, to actually do that. And it takes a lot of and a lot of bravery and courage to say, like, you know what, I'm going to go turn myself in, even if I know this is bullshit. So I commend him and his lawyer. It seems like he has a good team. Sometimes you have to. It's like, you know, when sometimes you have to say sorry and you don't mean it. This is the same thing. He's going to have to admit to he's admitting to something so he can deny the rest. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me, but it is a complicated thing because it's like, what is your integrity? You know, why would you admit to something you didn't do? Well, there is a lot of reasons why. Or he can just give her $35,000, which is what she asked. $35,000. I don't know. Is that how much a new camera cost? Why $35,000? I don't know who came up with that number. He can just give her the money and avoid the court hearings, which is probably what I would do. Because that's little change for him. $35,000, not a lot of money. And just not even go to court against this person about this bit. I don't know. Maybe he ends up doing that. Who knows? I'm going to keep doing my makeup at the same time if I can actually figure a way out. My cat is completely going crazy. It's okay, Lily. I know. No, I know. Because when it rains and the thunder like it is right now and lightning, she just like nuts. It's like, who knows what the hell she think is happening. Lily is fine. Come here. No. Okay, no, if you're gonna come with that attitude, then she's like, okay. For once, I'm gonna do what I say I was gonna do. I know I never do that. So we got here little Missy Esme Bianco, and I'm going to compare it to Ashley Walters, and we know why. Because first of all, they're best buddies. That's what I put a picture of them together. They are best friends. This is not just me saying it. That's what they say on their Instagram all the time, and they put pictures of them in the jacuzzi, pictures of them in Ireland, pictures of them in Spain, pictures of them in Manson concerts, pictures of them in Tweet Ramirez's wedding in 2014. Is that weird? Like you're gonna go to a wedding with your abuser, and you're just gonna go there and just like chill with everybody else plus your abuser in 2014 Tweet Ramirez wedding. Come on, now, that's weird. And just be like and be okay about it. And there's pictures of her and paparazzi and things that they were on the. She just can't even deny it. Like, this is what I don't think that she's come up on Instagram and denies anything. because at this point is the internet is so easy to find things, even if they've been trying to wipe things off. It's so easy with Esme Bianco. You just have to go to page 2. You know, when you Google somebody, you gotta, sometimes you don't find it on the first page. Well, search 2 or the third page, and you will find the stuff that she was doing, and she probably still doing. It's pretty sick, pretty sick. And I'm not judging. I'm not. I'm not judging the bondage and the fetish scene. I'm saying it's sick that she puts it on other people. It's not sick what she was doing. Okay, so it's because I don't want people to say, you don't like bondage, people don't. I'm not going to come here and say if I like it or I don't like it, because that's irrelevant completely. So I don't know why she has a lawyer in Texas, because I'm reading on the top and it says attorney for plaintiff in Texas. That's really weird. I don't know why they're going to Texas to get a lawyer. And I already read in my last video the items until item 26. This is a long ass thing, so I'm not gonna just go back to it again. But pretty much, you know, trafficking, human trafficking, unpaid labor, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, created her to have post-traumatic stress disorder. We still haven't like seen any type of proof that she has that. And when you go into therapy and taking medication and you are in treatment, you go into groups, you go into support groups, you go into therapy, you go into your meds, you go into psychiatrists to take your meds. You can, like, seriously, like, just people just going around saying, I have trauma, I have anxiety, I have, like, it really bugs me. It bugs me a lot, because if you don't have proof, you shouldn't say it until you have the proof. And it's such an easy thing to get, just like get your doctor to just write you a note. It's really easy. She hasn't done it because she doesn't have it. But you can always fake that and say you do have it, which is pretty sad, but people do it all the time, especially women in this type of situations. It's very easy to go to a judge and say, I'm distressed and blah, blah, blah. Here's Dr. Johnny Baloney to prove it. And it's very easy, sadly, it's very easy to go and lie and just lie through your teeth and tell doctors things that the doctor doesn't know any better, because the doctor doesn't know who Marilyn Manson is or whatever. They're going to listen up to you and be like, oh my God, okay, yeah, you have this. They're going to diagnose you right on the spot, give you medication that you can take or not, and have something that's called a treatment plan. I don't know Ashley Morgan, especially because she has an eating disorder and top of everything. Where is her treatment plan at? What did she was prescribed with? Is her treatment plan includes going around spreading lies, like Everett Wood said on that video, spread that shit around. I'm never gonna forget that day I saw that, because that was before she named him. This is in 2019. It was a video that she posted on her Instagram saying, if you know of somebody, if you are in that situation, spread that shit around. She used that word over and over, and I thought that was very vulgar of her to post on her Instagram. I mean, I'm using it on YouTube because it's whatever, but I guess I'm nobody, right? But from her to say that, and the advice that these girls keep giving to each other is let's come out together, let's talk about it. Let's, strength in numbers, like Ashley Morgan said. Well, you know what that is? A different word for the same thing. Gossip. It's not a support group. Support group has to be done by somebody who is on that type of gig, okay? Either a therapist or a counselor or a peer partner, a person who been through the same thing and facilitates the groups. Otherwise, if you're just in Starbucks talking shit about your ex, and there's somebody there talking shit about their ex, and you happen to have the same ex, that is not a support group. That's just gossip. And we can say if gossip is morally wrong or right, that's not my problem to decide that. But I'm saying it's gossip. And I hate that Ashley Morgan especially talked to People's Magazine and talked to anybody who want to listen to her, like when she went in national television and said that when with this woman we got together and we figured out that the same thing's happening to us. She should have never said that. She really is not that smart. I mean, I think the smartest cookie here is actually Walters. It's the one that has more of a point, because the other one's really fucked up. Like Ashley Morgan saying, admitting that they got together and they write it out together is so bad. It's bad. In the future, it's gonna be bad. She should have never said that, because it is a conspiracy. When there's more than two people talking about something, and you can say, "Oh, well, you're free, freedom," and in America we're free. Yeah, no, 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 you're not. You are, but you're not. You're not free to conspire against other people. You are, and they're done it. But you have to deal with the consequences where they're gonna come eventually. And I'm not talking about karma and out there spiritual stuff. That is gonna come to all of them. But I'm talking about perjury. Period. People talk about Amber Heard, how she's gonna go to jail. This is worse. This is like a bunch of people canceling a guy. No, I don't know if it's worse. They're both really horrible, because Johnny had to deal with his kids think. Manson doesn't have kids. I mean, but if you have kids like Johnny Depp and your kids thinking that your wife beat her. So no, the both situations are horrible, and they're not scared of going to jail. Like, they're not. I will. I mean, just because it's California, don't mean it's fun. Trust me, I've seen the prisons here. Mm-mm. A girl like Ashley Morgan, they'll eat her up. I mean, seriously, like it would just be so bad. So I don't think they're gonna go to jail. I don't think Amber's gonna go to jail. I don't wish jail on anybody, but I do wish that they get, like, which charged for perjury, not some type of like civil action. Like, well, instead of going to prison for perjury, you have to, volunteer on this place, pick up the trash on the freeway. No, 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 that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I mean, that's better than going to prison, right? I'd rather pick up the trash on the freeway and do anything, any type of community service. But I don't want them to do community service. I want them to pay money, because this is, especially these women, the Manson women, because that's all they want. So it's gonna end up like shooting them on the butt. That's all they want is money. They're asking for money, and if they are persecuted by him, and it flips around, then they're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay either bail or do community service. Which, can you imagine Esme Bianco, like all fancy with her like fake lips and her fake cheeks and all that, like just picking out the trash from the 101 freeway. I don't know. It's hilarious. But then I don't even get that. They're gonna have to be charged. And in a perfect world, or not perfect, but in a normal, this is California, and it's very strange. It's like a different planet all alone. Like people that did horrible things here, and I'm not gonna say who. Okay, this is African American guy that killed his wife, got away with it. Know what I mean? He lives there up in Calabasas, and he's just fine with life. Living his best life. There's a lot of people. There's people that hurt their children, and they have a good lawyer, and they get away with it. It's just a matter of public opinion as well with Manson. And the problem with Manson is that it's Manson. And he's been hated since like 95. And then when Columbine happened, the school shooting happened. It got worse. It got so bad for the guy. So he already has that rep, which in a way Johnny doesn't have, which is good. But Johnny has all the problems. Like he was doing drugs and a lot of drinking. But again, that doesn't make you wife beater. And because you're doing a lot of cocaine, and you're cutting yourself on stage, or breaking things on your head on stage, it might be not a good choice, but it doesn't make you a rapist. What I think that, the spit is like, yeah, I'm sure it's not fun. A lot of Manson Many girls go like, I wish he spit on me. I'm like, no, I'm not wishing that, but I'm not unwishing it either. Like if it happens, happens. I already told my last video that somebody broke my nose in a Marilyn Manson concert when I was 18. I didn't blame the band for it. I didn't even blame the venue for it. I blame myself. I chose to just be right in the front with a bunch of big guys, and I wasn't tall back then. Not like I was just a tiny. I was skinny. I was skinny. I used to be skinny and small, and oh gosh, got my nose was bleeding. And I didn't leave. I would want to watch the concert so bad. I stay there. I know that's so gross. Never blame the band. Never blame the venue. It happened. Quite awful. So nobody likes to be spit on, okay? And nobody, unless you really do. I don't know. But it's not assault. Assault is really you would know if you've been assaulted. Or, for example, like if a girl goes to a bar, and they put something in her drink, and then the side effects of that drink is her to pass out in somebody's room, and then they assault her. That's assault, even if she's not awake. But this is not what happened to these people. What happened to these people are just accidents, incidents, arguing, some type of weird sexual game between them that it didn't go the way they wanted to go, or the relationship didn't go the way they wanted to go. That reminds me of Ashley Morgan, probably like being ghosted hardcore. And all this comes from a lot of resentment, and it's a conspiracy. So I think a conspiracy is not just in politics. People think conspiracy is like, the Illuminati or whatever. Conspiracy can be anything. I can say that my ex conspired with his family against me. Conspiracy it can be economical conspiracy. It can be against sexual assault. It can be conspiracy to take your house, take your kids away from you. Shoot, like it can be here. They talk about conspiracies, and all it takes is three people on a table talking bad about the same person and not showing any evidence, just face value testimony. I don't want to live in a place that is actually taken into like 100%. It's not gonna be taken 100%, but it's like I feel like people are 50-50. Even on YouTube, like there's not a lot. There's just me and three more. We're like on this and talking about this, and I feel like the men that do the videos on Johnny and whatnot they are not touching this. They just don't want to, because maybe it's a touchy subject. They have wives and daughters. I have a daughter too, but I don't want to raise my daughter in a place full of liars. So just because you have family, don't mean that you don't have to get involved. But it is weird that not a lot of people talk about it. But a lot of people talk about it on Instagram, which is great. And sometimes you don't want to sit here and watch me yap for a freaking hour and a half. So go on Instagram and follow Stand By Your Manson. They are amazing. And they are the ones that had, my device turned off. This is great. They're the ones that have contact. I'm not going to say the name of the person, but of the name of the person who runs the page. But they had contact with Lindsay Warner, Manson's wife. And she said that she was with him in November for Thanksgiving in 2010. So Ashley Morgan saying that she was with Manson and her mom stopped by the apartment and brought Thanksgiving food. It's just how he was doing. He's like, the guy's like time traveling and shit. He's like having sex with this one here, and then be with Evan Richard Wood, and then making a video with Esme Bianco, and then hanging out with his wife at the same time. No. The truth is he was hanging out with his wife in Thanksgiving. That's what I believe. And I'm sure that there's a lot of proof of that, and he's probably just gathering the proof. There has to be proof of them together in Thanksgiving in a restaurant, always family or her family, and they probably can just show the receipts of that. I can't wait until that happens. I lost my screen. Am I still in the screen? Oh, I can't really sit here with no makeup on, and I'm just like Let's just talk. Okay. Enough of my yapping. I am not reading the whole thing again, but you all know what's up with Esme. Okay, so I left my last video left on item 24. We already talked about the darkness and the coldness and the cocaine and the all that. Like we already talked about the physical stuff, right? And then we're gonna just like go into something else. Item 24. Let me get my tea. On one occasion, one or two plaintiff, let's say Manson and Esme. I hate the word plaintiff. It's annoying. One occasion, Manson chased Esme around the apartment with an axe, smashing holes on the walls. On another occasion, Manson cut with a cut. Okay, so we know, just a trigger warning, I guess, too late for that, but I'm gonna talk about cutting right now. Okay. Cutting oneself or being cut by somebody else. There's still horrible trigger warning for that. But take this with a grain of salt, everything these women are saying. Like, just take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying don't believe them completely, but you can just be in like a 70-30% or 80%, 20%. So I'm not saying you have to believe me completely or anybody else on YouTube that thinks he's innocent, but also just use logic and think about it. This was you. If your exes, any or ex friends or ex boyfriends or ex husbands were blaming you of this, how funny it would be if you know that you're innocent. Can you imagine? It's a trip. So when you think that, oh, these people have so much money, they can just, it doesn't matter if they're saying this thing about him, they can buy. No. It's not about the money. Think if somebody that you know that has problems with you to this day blames you for something like this. And think how it will make you freaking feel. Because for sure, you didn't do it. Because you know yourself. So you're like, well, so that's, when you think about it like that, you forget this guy's Manson. He's a musician. You like him or not. You start treating him like as a person, and you see this is freaking awful things to be. Especially the cutting. The cutting with a Nazi knife is something that, somebody's saying, well, he slapped me around, and he yelled at me like Amber Heard. He yelled at me. He was yelling, and he threw something at me. This is just like, when it comes to like cutting people, he didn't do this madness. I mean, for all I know, she could have just cut herself, and then, which I'm not gonna look at the statistics, but a lot of women do, and a lot of men cut themselves too. Manson is a cutter. Johnny's a cutter. So it seems like they're just grabbing, they're deflecting. That's what they're doing. That's called deflecting. That's what they're doing. They're just grabbing what the person has and making it their own. And be like, oh yes, he cut me. He cuts himself. We see his hands. It's not funny. I'm not making fun of him. I mean, it's just really sad. Johnny is being a cutter. He said it. He has cuts all over, and Manson has cuts all over his chest and in his hands. So he has those tattoos. To cover them up. It's really sad. To take that away from him and say that happened to you is so low and nasty. Just not morally wrong in every fucking sense, because this happens to people for real. People get cut all the time, but this one didn't. So, okay, I'm gonna stop putting my own. So he chased it around, okay, and then during sex, he cut her. They don't even explain how he got to the knife, what happened. And this court declarations are very strange. It's like a comic book. It's like he goes from like dancing to cocaine to cutting. It's really just, there's no fluid to events. I mean, maybe this is a way that the lawyer wanted to present this, so it's like just to shock the judge. But it doesn't seem that, how do they went from one thing to the other, and how and when, how many hours? Like, there's no details. It's like, well, he was making love to me and then he got me. It's like, not after, before, during, like what? Like, did you bleed? Is it in the beds? I mean, like, did he help you out after he got you? There's like no details. It's just very straightforward, which I know that is sometimes a tactic for lawyers. But in this case, I think they're just being dumb. They're just trying to put a lot of things. So they're not wasting time on details because they want to shock you and they want you to think he's a bad wolf and a hustler and an evil man that fucks with immigration status and cuts people and has a gang, has a gang of people that are gonna just like get on your Facebook and your Twitter and spy on you. Anyway, that's what Evan said. Did Evan say that? That she said that he spied on her? Uh-huh. You know what's funny? During that time, if you go back, she was posting stuff on Twitter. She was working. She was doing True Blood. So how the fuck? Like the directors in the movie and the people from the show got a hold of her to work the next day if she didn't have a cell phone? I mean, so anyway. So am I glitching? Can anybody say if I'm glitching or not? Because there's like 3 lines, so my candles are going crazy. There's like 3 lines, so it should be 5, and there's like 3 going like this. I don't know if that means it is glitching or it means something else. Hopefully I'm not in trouble. The other day when I was talking about this, I got a little window from YouTube saying your stream is gonna be end in like 1 minute. I was like, it's just words, probably keywords that I should not be saying, but I am going to try not to. But if they pop out, they popped out. I'm not a freaking professional YouTuber, and I'm never going to be. So I can't sit here, or a lawyer, and I can't sit here and just say the F word and the R word. Sometimes they just pop. I will try not to. Okay, so during sex or after sex, sometimes Manson will cut Bianco with a Nazi knife during sex without her consent. So they had to put that there because maybe he did cut it with her consent. Without her consent. Warner Friends, bandmate, assistant, which is Ashley Walters, producer, and other colleagues witnessed various aspects of this abuse, including Tony Kula, which Tony Kula is already out of the picture because Tony dropped Manson after 25 years of relationship, and they're like brothers. They work for 25 years like this. Tony Kula drop him right away. So she is actually suing Manson and Tony Kula because she said that when all this was happening, the band was there and the management was there and they didn't do anything. No. Bianca was only able to escape. Yeah, they need to use that word. They can't say she left. She was able to escape the apartment while Manson slept. Oh, I thought he never slept. Okay. In June 2011, when Manson discovered that she had left. Because first you say she escaped, and then you say she left. This is like such a hot mess. That she left, he threatened to have her visa revoked and punish her with her immigration status. Listen, I already talked about this and how immigration, and it doesn't matter if it's in California, anywhere in the United States, it's something you don't fuck with, and it's not that easy. Like, oh, I'm Marilyn Manson, Brian Warner, but call me Manson, and I'm gonna revoke her visa. Like, it doesn't, like, they're not gonna listen to you like rock star. Like, seriously, like, she has to be doing something really, really, really illegal for her to be revoked and sent back or pay fines or whatever. And I don't believe for a second that he has that type of power. I don't. Okay, June 25th. In 2013, Esme attended one of Manson's shows in Las Vegas. Afterwards, he forcibly kissed her in the bus without her consent in an attempt to block her from leaving. Oh gosh, come on. This is like a freaking cartoon or something. So Esme was only able to leave when the friends intervened. Okay. The friends intervened and got themselves in the argument and told him, hey, knock it off. And then she left. Well, where are those friends? Where are the friends' testimonies for that? This is very easy to say, oh, he was looking at me the wrong way, and then my girlfriend came and his friend came and they separate us. You're gonna have to prove that, you know? You know why she's talking about the 2013 concert? Because there's pictures on Instagram of that. That's why she's bringing it up, because she knows she's fucked. So she has to bring it up in a light that is just positive to her and negative for him. It took Bianco years to understand the extent of Warner's physical, sexual, psychological, and emotional abuse. Her career suffered, I don't think so, due to the deterioration of her mental health. Again, proof, girl, caused by Warner. She deals with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, and panic attacks to this day as a result. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Did I know? Because I know about this. Okay, this is what I know about. Panic attacks are a side effect of anxiety. So a lot of people that have anxiety, at least one or twice a month, it's sad, they're going to experience a panic attack. Maybe once or twice a year. So having a panic attack, they can happen. Panic attacks are not situational. Panic attacks can happen when you're on the bus, everything is cool, and you're going to see your mom and your dad for Christmas, you can have a panic attack. They're usually not situational. So she is putting the panic attack next to Manson. And if she had panic attacks, she could have them at work. She could have them with her girlfriend. She could have them on set. Probably she had some of those on set. So she's saying she had this because probably there's some people are going to come in the future saying, oh, I saw Esme having a panic attack. And they're just going to say it was because of him. Panic attacks can happen all the time. And sometimes the reasons are not even like, sometimes we don't even know why. Like it's really common for panic attacks to happen when you are having fun. And when you are doing something that you can be, like I said, in a Christmas party, and all of a sudden you're like, God, your palms are sweating and your heart is running, you can't breathe, and you're like, shit. So they're not situational. They can happen 50% of the time. They happen with the person that's having a good time, or the person is totally neutral, like me right now. Like, it can happen. So putting it on him is kind of stupid, and it shows you that she doesn't really know a lot of what she's talking about. And I think it's because she doesn't have a real doctor. She's diagnosing herself, which is very dangerous. So she's talking about complex post-traumatic stress disorder. She's adding that. She's adding the complex to it, because that's like a cluster of 3 different symptoms. When you have something that is complex, it means you have 3 things going on. So she had to say the word complex, because the 3 things she had going on are anxiety, depression, and panic attacks. So that's what it makes it a complex diagnosis, not because complex in the sense of really, really hard to understand. No, it makes it complex, or it makes it, actually, the word for it is cluster. But she's not going to use it because nobody's going to know what the hell it is. A cluster diagnosis or a complex diagnosis is only because she has 3 things going on. And let's say with Ashley Morgan, she has an eating disorder. She said that she had an eating disorder since she was 8 years old, but she's going to use it against him, and she's going to say she has a complex diagnosis. And trauma, anxiety, and depression and panic attacks make it a complex because it's more than one thing. You feel me? But panic attacks will not happen if you don't have anxiety, but you can have anxiety without panic attacks, which is like, on the best case scenario, if you have anxiety, you can just manage it with treatment and with groups and with medication. But panic attacks is really hard. You don't know when it's going to come. So I don't think that she had all these panic attacks when she was with him. She's trying to convince all of us, but it's really hard for me to know that. It's easy for me to know that doesn't happen, because even myself, and I say it at work, and I say it with myself, I say it with my children, it just happens. Like, it's not. And also, I don't like that they're putting so much stigma on people when they talk about mental health. It's almost like, well, if you were sexual abuse or emotional abuse, you have to have panic attacks. It's almost like, there's no brightness to it. It's so negative. There's a lot of people that need hope from these people, and they're not getting it, because what they get from Evan and from them is like, oh, I'm going to have a panic attack because these girls that they were Manson, they have panic attacks. And it's just not a good look. It's not a good example. It's just not. Instead of like helping people, women, because they want to only help women, instead of helping women to deal with it, they're just making it more, well, this happens to you, you can have a panic attack, and it's just not right. It's not right, because somebody who is 20 years old and has no idea about life, or older but is still very sheltered person, is going to think, well, my dad abused me or my ex abused me, I'm going to be just like every Richard would and have all these panic attacks. And that's messed up, because it's putting ideas on people's heads, and very negative ideas. It's almost making it sound like there's no hope. There's no hope. And a lot of people got abused and did not have all this and don't have all this. So it doesn't mean that you're gonna get it, but the way they're explaining it to the, to the point that you're just gonna hate Manson. Not only he revoked her immigration status, but now he gave her a diagnosis 4. So it's a complex diagnosis. Anyway, so 28. Because Manson had previously cast her in what she believed to be a legitimate music video, it was a legitimate music video, her reliance on future projects were reliable. In fact, Warner went so far as to direct Ms. Bianco to draft paperwork to confirm that she will star in the film, for which rehearsals will begin shortly after her arrival in the United States. Okay, it's not so uncommon for somebody that is going to employ you to make you sign paper. Girl, like you want a little lollipop. I mean, it does stress you out so much that you have to sign a paper. You don't have to use this against him. I believe this. I believe this part. I believe that he made her sign a paper, because he's not stupid. He probably was like, dude, you're gonna sign a paper, because I don't know if you're gonna stay or not in the United States. You could just like get my money and then just like go back to London with your husband. So he made her. He offered a paper and a pen, and she signed it because she wanted to work on the video. There is nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing abusive about it. There's nothing abusive about him trying to cover his ass and sign a paper that made it sound like the guy got a napkin, a little baggie from his cocaine, and sign him like, here, you're going to sign here. Like you're going to, no, dude, it's probably a paper that was drafted by a lawyer or drafted by somebody close to him or a paralegal, even by him. I literally can draft a paper and give it to my best friend, and made her sign it because she has to return the shoes she borrowed from me. I know it seems silly, but people do that. And she signed it, she's gonna have to do it. And then, you figure things out and it's not that big of a deal. But if she signed the paper saying that she was gonna work on the music video, that is just the way things are. And that shows that he didn't trust her one bit if he made her sign a paper. Although, just saying, because she's not trustworthy. I mean, she left her husband in London just to come here because Manson wouldn't put her in a video. Is that like, you will do that? I mean, not only he was with his wife at the time already, and it's been proven by her and by TMZ videos, but also the fact that she's so butthurt about signing the paper, and it's making him look more as a control freak. And also, he probably made her sign a paper because he was scared of her leaving, getting paid, and then taken off. So I get it. Okay, number 28. Warner knew these offers to be fraudulent and fake. No, he had previously recruited Bianco to come to the United States to film the music video, I Want to Kill You Like You Do in Movies, and he never intended to publish it. Lies. He talked about that video with Rolling Stone magazine. He had every intention to make that video, period. Upon information and belief, after Bianco's arrival, no efforts were made to create Phantasmagoria. This is what she's talking about. She wasn't, I'm sorry, I messed up. She's talking about Phantasmagoria, which is based on the life of Lewis Carroll, the writer who wrote Alice in Wonderland. We know, if you know Manson a little bit, and if you follow him for like, the last 10 years or so, he wanted to make Phantasmagoria even when he was married to Dita. He's been talking about Phantasmagoria for a while. This is not a fake idea or a fake project. By inserting himself in Bianco's visa process, immigration, no, Warner was able to control Bianco by threats to withdraw support if she displeased him and not obey him, to withdraw her visa status if she didn't obey him. No, again, I'm gonna repeat myself. I don't think Marilyn Manson has so much pull on immigration on anybody. In order to just get kicked out, like you have to get caught with like drugs or manufacturing of drugs. I mean, that'll kick you out right away, and things like that. You cannot, like you can't. A rock star cannot call and said, "Well, this girl is not doing what I want her to do, so let's kick her out." I don't think. I mean, that is so far fetched. That's one of the things that really about this declaration is one of the ridiculous things. The unpaid labor and the human trafficking. Everything else is like the coal and the cocaine and the black walls. That is just what everybody else is saying. But the fact that he messed up with her immigration status is like, no, I don't think he actually can. I mean, nobody can, because immigration is going to decide. But immigration doesn't give a fuck that you Esme Bianco or Marilyn Manson. They don't even know who he is. They're going to just do what they do if they can show that she was doing something illegal. And I don't know if she was or not. I don't know what she's so scared of, what she was doing. The one thing that we know is that this one, Bianco took Ashley, or Ashley took Bianco, and Marilyn Manson's car, like a really expensive luxury car, and they trashed the car because they were drunk. And that's something that immigration is not going to kick you out because you're drunk. But if anything, she has a record. She did it herself. She made her bed and lay on it. I mean, what the fuck? And that's why she didn't leave and went to the police station. That's always been my theory. They didn't leave. Ashley didn't leave and went to the police station, which is a mile away, because she was too fucked up. Because she was drunk. And who wants to deal with cops when you're drunk? I think that's the real reason. Not because he put himself on the wall and on the door, be like, you're not leaving. I think it's because she was too messed up to drive and too messed up to go to a cop and say, hey, this guy is abusing me. Because who's going to believe you if you're drunk? So that's what I think that happened. I think that they didn't go to the police because they were too messed up to go to the police. And probably they had coke on their bag or whatever. I don't know. Just what I things that I come up with in my own stupid head. So every time that she didn't do something that he wanted to, he tried to mess with her immigration status. I really don't believe that. So now, unpaid labor. Item 30. I am doing the whole thing again. In addition to the sexual act demands by Warner through force and threats of force. Okay. Force. Threat of force. Okay. So 4 is pretty straightforward, right? Force is like, just I get you done and do what I said. I'm doing it, whether you like it or not. That's force. Threat of force is like, hey, if you don't do what I'm saying, like tonight, I'm going to hurt you. But I don't think that happened. I don't think that happened. It's kind of dumb. They're putting 2 things. The lawyer is an idiot. He should have just put one thing, and one thing will be effective. Just say force. You have to say force and threats of force. It's like, oh gosh, it's so unbelievable, because this woman is an adult. It's not even like Evan that she was 19. This chick was like 25 or 28 when she was with him. Grown ass woman, seriously. If you're so mature and so old to work in Game of Thrones and just go around half naked the whole time in every episode, then you can handle this. I'm not saying you can handle violence, but you can handle the sexual freakiness or the walk around in your underwear at his house. Come on. This is something that she does anyway. So her playing shy and saying that he forced her, I don't think he forced her to wear anything sexy. I don't think he forced her. I think that she did what she wanted to do. That's been my theory the whole time. They should not use this word twice. Force or threats of force. It's dumb. Totally dumb. Bianco was also required to provide okay, here we go. Unpaid labor. Oh my God, I gotta have enough tea, and I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom because I drink too much tea. So I'm gonna have to. Can you pause this? You can pause alive. Shoot. Can you pause it? Can anybody help me with this? What happens if I just go and just get myself more tea? Like, if I do that, please don't leave. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know if I can pause it. I'm looking. Oh, I will have to pause if I have somebody here holding it for me, but I don't. So let's keep going. I'll be okay. So unpaid labor, it's pretty much like she cooked for the guy a couple times, made him breakfast, pick up after him because he's probably a messy person. And that is just kind of like what girlfriends do sometimes. It kind of like, it's not cool, but it happens. And I think that's exactly what happened. She picked up a couple times after him. Stuff in the house, apartment. It wasn't even a house. How messy can an apartment get? It's not like she was scrubbing the floors. Seriously, like even if she lived there, so it was her place too. So she was cleaning her own place. You know, that's a good point, right? When she was cleaning her own place, that's not unpaid labor. That's her cleaning her own place so she can live more in a comfortable, clean place. And she wasn't eating. Like she was making food for him and she wasn't eating. That's just so damn dumb. I'm never gonna believe that. Sorry, I keep interrupting. I gotta stop doing that. I'm so sorry. I'm not that sorry, but I'm just saying it just sucks. I keep doing that because I keep things keep popping in my head that I didn't think about 3 months ago. Why I didn't think about the fact that she lived there too. So she wasn't cleaning for him. She was cleaning for both of them. It's like they were a couple. They had a cat. His cat passed away. So if you're cleaning the litter box of my cat, you're gonna tell me it's unpaid labor. No, you're just cleaning the litter box because it's your cat. You like my cat. I don't know. So this is so ridiculous. The more I read it, the more just dumb it gets. I read this months ago, but now I'm reading it and comparing it to Ashley Morgan and the other crap that she said, and this looks so stupid. I think she got the worst lawyer of all of them. Poor Esme. Not really. So Warner through force and threats. Okay, plaintiff was also required to provide unpaid labor for Warner during April 2011. He was with Lindsay to July 2011. So what? 3 months of unpaid labor. Consulting on his album. Oh my God! I thought you liked the guy. You like his music. So now it's a bad thing that he asked you, "Hey, do you like this? Do you like this riff? You like this part of the song?" Oh, you feel so used because he consulted on his album. Okay, providing uncredited backup vocals during the. Did anybody remember? I don't know. I don't have his album. I mean, of course, I have his album somewhere on my computer. I can't really remember any vocals, female vocals on any song from Born Villain. I don't remember. So I don't know what the fuck she's saying here. And even if there are female vocals, I don't know how she's going to prove it's her. And I don't know how she's going to prove that she did it willingly because she liked his music, as she said before. So if I like somebody's music, like hardcore, and they ask me to do something for them, take a picture of them or sing, it is what it is, It's just you being a groupie pretty much. That's kind of how I see it. And singing in the background because that's what groupies do. Because she's not no singer. So that's not a job. That's not unpaid labor. That's just hanging out. That's what I think. It's not just me. At least 3 other women in YouTube think the same way. They should pop up more, but they haven't, and I don't know why. Women are usually just scared to talk about this, and I'm not, because got nothing to lose, really. What are they gonna do? Can't do shit. So okay, this includes serving or preparing food for Warner and his guest. She had to prove that too. Cleaning his apartment, consulting on his album, providing uncredited backup vocals for Von Villain, and being offered up to the guests and bandmate to spank. This is something Ashley Walters also shared, that she was offered to other people, like Manson pimp did women. Warner implied that because he had bought Bianco in the United States and helped her with a visa, and provide housing, she owed him labor and sexual intimacy. No. Plaintiff feared for her safety and that of her friends and family if she did not comply. No. Her family was in London. What he's gonna do? He's just gonna send again. Friends, if the friends saw what happened and they didn't do anything, it's the friends are guilty just as much as Manson is. Bianco herself will contact Tony Cula, ex-manager, that what a jerk, seriously, they dropped him right away. By the time that she wrote this, he wasn't dropped yet because she did this back in February. Bianco herself will contact Tony Cula, when Warner temper tantrums, because he's a kid, so he throw tantrums like my kid does. Tantrums. It makes him sound so dumb and stupid. Tantrums. That he got moody. So she will call the manager, and the assistant, which is Ashley Walters. So she put this on this, so then it ties to Ashley Walters. That is actually smart, that part. Warner assistant also coordinates Bianco's travel and lodging and hotels or what have you each time she visited Warner, with full knowledge of Mr. Cula, and Cula management acted as Miss Bianco babysitter when Mr. Warner was not present. Pretty much when he had to leave for band practice or interviews or whatever, his management was watching Bianco so she would not leave the apartment. I don't believe that for a damn second. But I don't believe that. It's a lot of that's so far-fetched. Like the unpaid labor and the human trafficking and the immigration, those are the three things I believe the least. And I don't believe none of this crap. But those three are just so just fictional, seriously. And this is very fictional too. The fact that he told his manager, what if he's gonna be honest to his manager if he's abusing this woman? Why? He told his manager, just watch Esme, don't let her leave. So babysit her, right? Babysitter. Supporting the violent tendencies and encourage the creation of his art and the promotion of the brand in the album Born Villain. Marilyn Manson were complicit in Mr. Warner abuse of Miss Bianco. So Tony Cula is a witness of this and is as guilty as Manson. That's what she's trying to say. It was only after these abuse allegations were made public in February 1st, 2021, Mr. Tony Cula management withdrew for the representation of Miss Warner after more than 25 years. That is so damn sad. It's too much for loyalty, huh? 25 years that you were making money, because management does money. I mean, think about the Britney Spears situation. So I know it's not the same, but management does make so much bank out of your face and your voice, pretty much. So he made all this bank for 25 years, and one thing pops out. It gets a little bit complicated, and he drops them. That's just so nasty. Item 33. Warner used drugs, force, and threats of force. The force and the threats of force to sexually abuse Miss Bianco on multiple occasions. Multiple. Just say how many. Multiple is just so open. That's what they say, something that is open, so they can just, when they go to court, say, oh, it happened twice, or it happened 300. Remember Ashley Morgan saying it happened to her 300 times. She got abused 300 times. Warner could dole up if she fought back, having been on the receiving end of his tantrums many times. He also supplied drugs to Bianco and deprived her of sleep and food to weaken her physically and mentally and decrease her ability to refuse him or fight. Like I said enough, like I said that before, you cannot force coke on somebody. If she was saying that he put something on her drinks, she's so dumb. Like, she could have said that. She's saying that he forced coke on her. And also before, she said she was making food for him. So there was food somewhere. And I don't want to talk shit about Manson's the way that he looked, but that during that time he was not too skinny, right? So, which is cool because he was taking care of himself and he was getting sober, and he was It seemed like he was eating just fine. So for her to say there was no food in the house is stupid, especially after she said that she cooked for him. What the hell? What did she do? Even if she cooked mac and cheese, that's still food that she could have like eating, like in secret or something. Which that's what I would have done if I was in that situation. I would just be like under the table eating mac and cheese and tuna and shit. I mean, like, so yeah, so he supplied her with coke and forced the coke on her, not let her sleep or eat. Warner committed sexual acts with Miss Bianco when she was unconscious. This is a big ass deal, and it's a big deal to blame to put this fault somebody about this, and because of this, it is RAPE. Doesn't matter if you're asleep or unconscious. Even if you are unconscious because you drug yourself, it's still the letter R. This is one of the worst things that they're blaming him on, and it's disgusting. Warner also committed sexual battery against Bianco on multiple occasions through her time in LA in 2011. So they were saying through her time because they cannot pinpoint one month of what weeks of the month. So they're just saying her time in 2011. The acts include spanking, biting, cutting, and whipping Miss Bianco buttocks and her butt, breast, and genitals. Come on, man. For Warner's sexual gratification, all without the consent. Okay. She is, how is she going to prove that? How the hell is she going to prove that she didn't want that to happen to her? And I'm not saying because you are in some type of freaky stuff, you deserve to be the word R. No, you don't deserve that. But at the same time, how is she going to prove this? And how he's going to prove that he didn't do it? And how she's going to prove that he did it? I mean, she's such a sexual person. She was on Game of Thrones, where, portraying a prostitute. A person who is shy and who is really sheltered, who doesn't know anything about life, is not going to accept a character in a show like that. Somebody who was working as a bondage fetish model in something called the Torture Garden, which is a place you can go in the UK, that people just go. It's not a normal club, like a normal goth club or whatever. People just go there to play. They just play with each other, and spank or whip or whatever, and it's all good. It's all consensual. And she did that for about 5 years before they met. So she's going to make us believe that this is something that it never happened to her before, like she never got spanked. Warner committed sexual, 35. Warner committed, got it. All right. So they're not putting the times, multiple occasions is such a big, multiple occasions in 2011. I mean, he was sometimes in 2011, especially for the holidays, because her father was still alive back then. He was with Lindsay. I mean, I hope that TMZ, this time they can prove that they're not a bunch of dicks and release videos, because there's videos and paparazzi videos of him and his current wife leaving the movie theater, leaving the club. There's videos of that. So if they put all that together, because video has timestamp, that's it. She's cooked, because they were together in 2011. This doesn't mean that he didn't have a break with Lindsay and it was with her or whatever, but that is just that's a low blow, like right there, because it makes him look like a cheater. And I don't, if he is or he isn't, it's just, if he cheated or not is as irrelevant as if he did coke or not. That's just personal business. Talking about abuse and beating somebody up. So that's why she's saying multiple occasions in 2011. She can't pinpoint it at all. At least that was smart, because Ashley Morgan is such an idiot. She said November 2010, and then there's pictures of Lindsay and Manson going to a Thanksgiving dinner in November 2010. So I don't know where she was. She was like hiding in in the stove with turkey or something. I don't know. Plaintiff repeats and allegations contained in the paragraphs above, which is the whole thing that I read, are fully set forth and true. Defendant Warner committed sexual assault. I don't even like saying it. More describing section which is the thing I read. That I read last time and I finished reading now. Plaintiff requests for relief and set forth below. This is what she's requesting. She's requesting damages for one thing, another thing. She's not requesting Well, I need to know my, she's not requesting to stay in the country. She's not requesting treatment for him. She's requesting money. And that's kind of what made him look even more trashy. Um, Plaintiff repeats and realistic allegations contain the paragraphs. I don't know. We already read that. Filing has so many things that it's like just obvious. Like they tell you, well, they live in LA. Well, we know. Or his real name is this. Or her age. Well, we know that. But it's just feeling. That has nothing to do with guilty or not. This is feeling, and this is what lawyers get a lot of pay to do. They just like sit down and do a lot of, because probably like only 3 pages are allegations, and the rest is a lot of technical things. So she is suing him, and also she's suing Tony Kula and Warner. It's just the same that Amber was. She was suing Warner too. And that's what Johnny Depp was fired from, for detective visa, where to find and whatever. Oh no, the crimes that went in the wall. I'm gonna have to tell my son. I also told him the other day, because we're watching. We're like very fans of Harry Potter and stuff. So we were watching the crimes that were in the wall. Whatever you like the movie or not, it doesn't matter. And Johnny was there, and he did such a good job. And my son Morgan, he goes, I can't wait for the next one. And I was like, he's not going to be on it because he got sick or whatever. And he's been having problems. I had to lie to my kid because I couldn't tell him the truth. He has a phone. He's eventually going to find out by himself. And then when he asks me, I'm gonna tell him without the details, because I'm not going to raise my kid to be a freaking doormat, and I'm not going to raise my daughter to be a liar. But if they don't ask, I wouldn't say it. But even kids already have the sense of Johnny being a wife beater, or Johnny being there's something wrong with Johnny Depp, because they're just going to think, why he's not on this movie that I really like. Amber really destroyed his life, like seriously. Even if he wins, she still did so much damage. So, repeats and unreal allegations contain the paragraphs. Okay, defendant wanted to obtain labor services. The unpaid labor for plaintiff means for force, threat of force, or threats of force, physical restraint, threats of physical restraint to that person or another person. They're reporting that. So to kind of get Ashley Walters on it, because without Ashley Walters mimics this big time. So then it's like, well, both of them are saying the same thing. It got to be true, because Ashley Walters also said that she was working by force. She did not want to work because she was working by force 24/7. And then when they asked it again, she said, well, I started working at 6 p.m. and end up, finish working at 4 a.m. Oh, really? Well, that's a lot of hours. That's a good gig, though. If you are a night person, that's not 24/7. Stop lying. So, yeah, they're putting this so they can just go at it, and it's like, ooh, just like Ashley Morgan said on her interview, we found such a strength in numbers. Yeah, that's gossiping, and that's a conspiracy. That's not a support group. She can say that until she's blue in the face, but I know the difference, and a lot of people know the difference, so she's not fooling us. Hopefully, she's not fooling us. So, plaintiff request for relief and set for below. Prayer for relief. This has nothing to do with religion. This prayer for relief is like saying, we're really requesting this, like kind of what Britney Spears is doing with her dad. It's just we're really freaking for real requesting this prayer for belief. It's not prayer a God related thing. A lot of people don't know that, and they might just think that she's out of her mind asking people to pray for her. Oh my gosh. The before plaintiff on behalf of herself prays for the following with relief. Plaintiff be awarded actual damages. Damages is another word for cash. Like somebody, when he said like, when they say Trump said it, Manson said it, something that people said, well, cash is a poor man's money, because if you're rich, you have only credit. This is the same thing. I mean, damages are just the fancy way to say cash. The plaintiff be aware compensatory damages where available, or as he has them. Where they, of course, they are available. That's just stupid. Everybody knows he has millions, so it is available. The plaintiff be aware of the damages, because she's praying for it, she's requesting it. Praying is more than requesting. It's to the point of like, you have to give me this, otherwise this will be really bad. Plaintiff be aware pre and post judgment interest. She's will be informed during and after. This chick thinks she's gonna be in her house posting stuff on Instagram and they're gonna tell her this is happening. She's gonna have to show in court. This is not a matter of telling her, like, hey, Esme, it's done. We send you the money, or we're not, you lost. She has to go. She's pretty much asking to be told when it's happening. And I mean, while it's happening and after. I never read something like that before. I never read that a plaintiff can ask to be informed after. You're supposed to be in court with it. If you're accusing somebody of abusing you unconsciously when you're unconscious, do you think that you can be in your house ready on the phone? Hey, is it over already? Did he say he did it? No, you gotta be there. Somehow she has to be there. That she's so scared of being there that she's asking to be informed. You have to be informed by being there. I don't know that part if I'm wrong on that, but this is what I'm getting from it. The court award plaintiff her attorney's fees. Oh yes. Manson, which it means the court means Manson, have to pay for her lawyers. This is such a mindfuck. And they do this a lot. They do this even in family law. I dealt with stuff like that. I mean, like, it's like you're already stressed out because you got to go to court against these people, but also you have to pay for their lawyers. It's just the biggest, especially when it's somebody who's not low income. It's not struggling. This girl has money. He has to pay for her lawyers, even if she lost. He has to pay. He's not gonna, because this is not gonna go to it. And if it goes to it and he has to pay for the lawyers, then cool. Pay for her lawyers, because then you might just go to court and win. So pay for the lawyers. And that is like a minimum little, it's a little bit of, it's tiny money, really. But I can't believe she's asking for, I can't believe the word prayer for relief is there. That is very hardcore. Praying for relief is pretty much where your lawyer will type if you are incarcerated, and you're being trafficked, or you are in prison, you're praying for relief or praying for parole. But in her case, it's just she's not in it anymore. She's not being let's say it happened. Let's pretend she's not being abused anymore. She's not in his house. The praying for relief is really strong thing to say. It's like just make it more dramatic, because she's a drama queen. We know. You go to her Instagram profile in 2020 and in 2021, and she took it. Who does that? They took a picture of herself with her makeup running, and the caption is like, "This is what RAP looks like." No, it's not. Abuse doesn't just come on one face. Abuse doesn't come in different ways. For her to she owns abuse. It's like the same with Richard Wood. It's like she wants to be the poster, the girl we look at that she got abused. Abuse, I don't think none of this happened, but if it happened, abuse comes in many ways. Men abuse women, women abuse men abuse kids, kids abuse older siblings. It happens all the time. So for her to just like take a picture of herself with the makeup right now and saying this is what abuse looks like, she's taking, she's speaking for all of us. It's not abuse looks like. This is what abuse looks like. This is the neighbor wears a suit and he's pretend he's all good can look like. Come on. I mean, like, just they're speaking for all of us, because they want to make you believe and make the judge believe, the court system, and make everybody believe that we are these little hopeless little pigeons, and there's Manson and these big wolves like Manson, Johnny, and whatnot. And we're just hopeless, and we're weak. And I really just don't like that at all. But with the parts, okay, then that's it. It's over. April 30th. Oh God, I can finish it. But I finished it because I started it last time. So a few things, right? First, she said that she was there in November. Oh, that was Ashley. Sorry. So she said she was cooking for him, that she said she was starving. And then she said she was cleaning the place, picking up the place, which I think is like, you know how guys are. Like, well, I take off my shoes and I leave them in the other room and just pick them up. It's annoying. It's annoying, but it's not unpaid labor. Then she talks about visa, immigration status, and how he just made a call and he just scared her saying that he was going to change her immigration status. I don't, that's bullshit because immigration is not going to listen to a rock star unless she's like really for real committing a crime. And think about it. If he's the one committing the crime, why did he's going to call immigration and get immigration into his house? If he's really killing, our where these people are abusing them, messing them up, whipping them, that he doesn't want, because immigration, when you call, when you call 911, you get sent cops, fire department, and a medical department. And the reason they do that is obvious. But you also, if it's somebody who's not from here, it doesn't matter if it's Esme from the UK, they also will take immigration notes. They're not going to kick you out of the country, but they're going to take immigration notes right there. Be like, they ask you questions like, what you got here? What you doing? It's like, oh, I'm an actress. It's all good. They're not after actresses. They're after people that manufacture crystal meth, They're after. So if he was so scared of getting caught because he was in fact abusing her, why did he bring immigration in his life? It doesn't really make sense. I just thought about that now. I keep going with, I can't believe I don't have any makeup on. Look at this. Just popped out in here. Just I have some time now before things get crazy. So yeah, that's it. That's it for Esme. I am gonna try to play some audio of her, but the audio is just gonna enrage me and remind, because it's kind of the same thing. It's the same audio over and over. Let me get Evan saying the one thing. And I'm not talking about the RAPE joke. And she say, oh, our joke can be a good joke. I'm not talking about that one. Somebody gave me shit about that the other day, saying that on a video from May 1st. It's hard to go back to it all the way, but this lady wrote a whole paragraph about how Evan is with the truth, and Manson is an abuser, and she knows because she's the victim herself, so she knows when she sees one. So I was like, lady, you're being blinded by hate, and you are talking from your own experience, and you're not opening your mind. You believe in the victims just because you were a victim before. That's very dangerous. Because I told her on the comments, I shouldn't get gotten, but like I like to get people to think, use the noodle up here. So I thought it was maybe a cool thing to talk to her. Not trying to change her mind, but to talk to her. First, she said I was dumb. So I started my comments saying, well, I am a lot of things. I'm fat, I'm whatever, I'm ugly, but I'm not dumb. And then second of all, I was like, you are speaking from your heart way too much because you got abused. So you are on this guy because your emotions are talking, not your brain. And she did not like that. And then she came back with another comment. And she said, well, I didn't call you dumb. I think this is dumb. I don't know how she changed her mind like that. It's okay if you're going to call me dumb. It's all good. I'm not by her, but I really was trying to kind of get her to understand that this is a big deal. This is not just one girl saying this and him losing a movie role. This is just him being totally canceled at the moment. Not canceled as a person. We're still doing this, but with the jobs, he lost a job on TV that he really liked that. We know he likes to act. He lost the job. He got dropped from the. He cannot leave his house probably without security. If that's not being canceled, I don't know what the heck it is. And don't tell me things that people said before on Twitter or whatever. Like, he has a lot of money. He doesn't have to work. Again, he's an artist. He wants to work. Do I have to say more on that? No. And it's the same with Johnny Depp. They go like, well, he can just work and just have, he doesn't have to work. He has money for the rest of his life. That's so close-minded and dumb if you think like that, and it's so evil. Because if I tell you right now, like you know, you don't have to be a nurse. You already have money. You'd be like, no, but I like being a nurse. Whatever, you know. It's not talking. I'm not saying about he own it to the fans or whatever. He likes to do art. Like you stopping his. Okay, if you're gonna go really deep, you stopping his livelihood, and he has a wife now. So you're stopping him from supporting his wife. So if you're gonna go like that route, so besides you want a new album because you are so in love with his music, so you want a new album. What? Wait, he's not gonna give you a new album. Just like Britney's not gonna give you a new album. But just the fact that you're taking away by canceling, you're taking away his right to his expression, which is the one thing he knows how to do. He always says that he wasn't a musician. He would just be out there, like, you know, just getting in trouble. And the same thing with Johnny. It's like, don't take away something that he likes, somebody likes doing, just because they have a lot of money. That is messed up. I want to go back to my, oh, I'm sorry. Someone's like 1 hour 25. So it has to be, this has been glitching at all, because if it hasn't, then I'm not going to make an uploaded video, because there's no point. And I got 3 likes. Yeah, me. No, but like seriously, it's been glitching. Because I was watching a guide last time about the Britney Spears thing, the lawyer that is pretty cool. And he was saying, maybe it's glitching for you guys, but it's not for me, so let me know. And it was glitching for me. So I'm like kind of got worried and start asking if for real. I think it's not. Sometimes the time of the day, also we had a super crazy thunderstorm today. I like it, but I feel like, what the heck? Like my phone stopped working. So maybe hold on, I'm looking at my playlist. I have a whole playlist on not on Esme, on Evan. I titled it Evan saying stupid shit. I my playlist. I'm sorry. Because like she just, oh gosh, it's beyond. Besides, there are things about her talking about how Twiggy and Manson are like the best musicians I mean, there's just so much like just not consistent stuff. But I don't know. I can't really find it. So, and I don't want to just be dragging this so much. I'm just gonna end it. And I'll go back and just post it, which is pretty much what it is Evan in 2019 with this really scary music in the background. On Instagram Live, I think it was. And she's saying, talking about Harvey Weinstein, which I know is completely, he's guilty as fuck. That this has nothing to do with Manson. She's saying, like, if you know somebody's doing this, tell people. Worst advice ever. Tell people. Tell everybody. Tell your coworkers, tell your family. And then she said, spread that shit around. First of all, what if she's cursing? I mean, I can, but like, what? Second of all, like, worst advice ever. I already told in one video what happens. What happened to a model. I didn't know her, but I knew somebody who knew her. She spread the shit around. She told everybody that her boyfriend was doing this, her boyfriend was doing that, and she had a restraining order and he was an asshole. Well, one day he came back and just dropped her out the window and killed her. And this is not bullshit, because she spread the shit around. And I'm not blaming on her, poor girl. She died on his hands, right? Because when she told her girlfriend told somebody else. They put it on Facebook. They put it at the time we got MySpace. And then somebody told somebody told them. So everybody, like in West Hollywood, knew what was going on with this guy, and who likes to be seen as an abuser. Actually, in this fact, he was. So he came over, and because she still loved him, whatever, opened the door. They got in a fight. He ended up killing her. So telling women, spread the shit around, like not go to the police. If you don't want to, I always say, you don't want to deal with police because you are an addict or you did something shady in the past. So you don't want to, some people don't like cops. Okay, whatever. So you can go to a social worker, you can go to the hospital and say, hey, this happened to me, help me, they'll help you. And it's free. Don't give me that whole like everything costs money in the US. No, it doesn't. If you are in school, talk to your counselor. Like you can just like talk to so many people if you don't want to talk to cops, but not for gossip, but just for help. And the fact that this girl didn't do none of that. You can look her up on Instagram. I will just put a link to her. Her story is just heartbreaking because she did just that, and it went around to the point that he was like, "Well, you say all this shit about me, well, I'm gonna mess you up." And he did. And she was like 30 years old, and she was a pinup model and also a psychologist, and she was really cool. She was a teacher on sex in general, and she didn't deserve it just because she told people. So Evan, that's what you're telling people to do. You're telling women to spread it around. It's like tell your therapist, that's it. Okay, so for example, I am a mandatory reporter. What that means, I know it sounds fancy. What it means is somebody comes and said, "Oh, this happened to me last night." I don't care what they say after that. If it's violence, especially sexual violence, and sometimes the person goes like, "No, no, 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 don't say." Too late. So it's the same with children. If a kid comes and say that he was abused, not emotionally, that's different. In California, there's a line, they separate that a lot, but it's a sexually or physically, even spanked too many times. The kid decides to say it to me, mandatory reporter. I'm not gonna call the cops. I just call a social worker. Okay, so come on. Even if she told her therapist, the therapist would have done something back in 2010, 2011. So these girls, it really is hard to believe that they don't want to frame him. That's what I call my video. Like I call them the coven, of witches, because I believe this is a witch hunt, and it's kind of ironic that he talked about witches, in witchy stuff for so long, in her music or whatever, and now it's like it's a flip up, and it's working against him, and now he's been the victim. And you think, why do I care about this famous person that doesn't even know me? It's not because I like him or whatever. I like him as much as I like Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. I don't know. I like Johnny as much as I like Leo DiCaprio. Okay. I don't even have to fucking explain myself. Fuck it. But it's just about, just things that should not be happening. And like I said, I'm not gonna raise my son, to be a doormat, and or my daughter to be a liar. So with me, it comes from a different space. I like Manson. I like his art. I like his paintings, but that's irrelevant with the case. I find it hard to believe that these girls don't have medical reports. They diagnose themselves with very, very big diagnosis. They're like saying they have complex. When you say you have complex, it's a window of opportunity to say you have many things. I got complex post-trauma, complex. So then you can put the anxiety there and the depression, the panic attacks all together. And there's no support groups, there's no therapists, there's no psychologists, no neurologists, there's no meds. I remember the picture of Esme that it really looks super staged. Fake picture, it looks so staged. That there's these bottles that they seem from like either Walgreens, CVS, whatever, some drugstore in California. Oh, and it could be United States, period. But she probably got it from Pinterest. Yeah, I said it from the same place. And the Ashley, Tom, if you're watching or if you watch, Tom is an amazing guy, and he is the ex. She got many exes. He is an ex-fiance of Ashley, and he can corroborate all these things, the kind of person, the kind of nut job that she was and is. But I find it hard to believe that she was like saying Well, my mom was okay. I'm gonna make another video for Ashley Morgan because she just I'm not gonna say deserves it, but she's so out there. And this is the things I'm not gonna talk about. I'm not gonna talk about her plastic surgery. I'm not gonna talk about her fat or skinny problems. I'm not gonna talk about, oh, she looks so bad, and because even if she looked gorgeous, I still think she's full of shit. So I'm not gonna talk about cutting. It's just gross. I'm not gonna do that. So I don't have to do that because they're freaking the mental gymnastics that they have to do to come to sit there for People's Magazine and lie through your teeth. You don't need me to say that you're ugly or pretty. You're ugly because you're lying. So that's kind of how I see it. It might just be too innocent and stupid, but that's what I'm not gonna do. What other people do. Guys, YouTubers, not girls. They put it. They say, well, of course he did it because look at all the makeup he wears. He's a freak, or the other way. Of course she did this on him because she used to be a slut or she has surgeries. I don't care. I mean, because then you're doing the same thing they're doing. It's gossip. So would it make a difference if they were pretty or not? I mean, Evan is quite pretty. Esme is quite pretty. Like, what? Who cares? Like it will make a difference. The only thing that makes a difference is because I looked it up, all their body weights and how their proportions are. And yes, it's kind of freaky, but you can look at that. You can look at that, especially because they're actresses. You're not going to find how much I weigh. But you go on IMDb, you look it up. And Evan has always been skinny, dude. She talks in many interviews about how she got bullied in school or in acting class because she was really like long girls, pale, long legs, pale, no boobs, and super skinny. She was skinny before, during, and after him. Then Esme Bianco was skinny. She had to be skinny. She's an actress. She worked with her body. Okay. This is not Manson's fault. Esme Bianco is like 5'5". I'm 5'6". She's like 5'6", 130 pounds, like skinny. Then Ashley Morgan talked about her eating disorder over and over again. So there you go. Then you got those. I don't know what Ashley Walters talk about. I don't know if she got bigger or skinnier. But they look the same before him or during him or after him. The only difference is like, well, the heart-shaped glasses, or maybe she was having more of a vintage look, whatever. But everything else is like, who you. And in my other videos, I talk about how artists, especially women artists, like change all the time. You're not going to look the same that you look when you were 20. And when you're 40, you're not going to look the same that you look when you were 30. Like, we experiment with shit. We dye our hairs. We do things. It's not about a guy telling you to do that. So that's another detail. The blaming a guy, it's just for you. It's like if I said I dye my hair red because my ex-boyfriend told me. No, I've been dyeing my hair red. Like, they're going to find that I've been dyeing my hair red for 12 years. That's how stupid, that's how dumb it is to just get people to stop lying. All it takes is a little bit of investigation. All it takes is going to a doctor and saying, hey, do they have this? And if they have it, what's been the treatment plan? What's the treatment plan? What's up? That's all it takes for Manson to request, kind of what Johnny is doing with Amber, request evidence of like what. And this is the same thing. It might take a little bit long, but it's gonna happen. All right, almost 2 hours. It's because it's I'm not saying it's fun. It's very sad, but at the same time, it's like I want to get this shit out of my system because more stuff popped out from my noodle while I was talking. For example, the thing about him, why would he want immigration in his life if he's committing a crime? Stuff like that. I mean, it's just why she wasn't eating while he was eating and sleeping while she wasn't sleeping. The fact that she said that Tony Kula was babysitting her. I mean, how did she gonna prove that? There was like a camera or something somewhere. The cops never showed up. Like, Amber Heard, at least she was, or her friends were smart to call the cops and make a whole calling cops fluid situation. It's very easy. I always talk about how easy it is to frame people. Call cops on people is easy. Go to court and get a restraining order, a temporary one. It's easy. They don't ask you to see anything. For men and for women, it's easy. So it's so easy to do this stuff to people. So do it to somebody famous and you're looking for damages. That's hardcore, straight up lying. And I don't know. I hope this came clear and it did not glitch. I should make a separate video just on this, but I kind of feel weird about making a video about something I just read the whole thing. And it's not tedious. I like reading her stuff, but it does frustrate me. I wish there was more people talking about it. Anyway, so follow, man, these people are awesome. And a lot of things I said, they're kind of, not, I would not call it stealing, but we're sharing. Stand by your Manson on Instagram. Just like that, stand by your Manson. Amazing. The phone is going to have to wait. Then you have like a bunch of those, but that one, stand by your Manson, is amazing. Then there's Manson Defenders. There's just like a few. If you follow one, it's going to take you to the other ones. And these people are not dumb. They're not like fangirls going like, oh my God, he didn't do it. They're just like, show you pictures of things or links to TMZ videos. Things that, I would not call it evidence, but it's more evidence than what these women have. That's for sure. And I'm just going to end it. I can't believe they didn't end it for me today. That's because I didn't say the R word. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go eat something. Okay. Good night, and thank you for watching me if you did. And liking if you did. And if you didn't, it's not going to stop me from sleeping at night. All right. My cat is out of control. For some reason, she's been eating. I don't know why. All right. Thank you so much. Good night.